Guys, Ardania here. So for today's video, I am going to be doing a book discussion on The Fever Code by James Dashner. So just a little thing here. Obviously there's going to be spoilers. This is a prequel novel to the Maze Runner trilogy. So if you have not read The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, The Death Cure, and I would also say The Kill Order, which was the first prequel, don't watch anymore. There's going to be a lot of spoilers, and just to the main trilogy, which I can't really avoid, because like I said, this is a prequel. So if you haven't read those books, just get out now. I'll see you next week. Okay, you ready? Okay, so this, like I said, this is a prequel to The Maze Runner, and oh my god, I loved it. I did not know that I needed this until I read it, and I was like, it's so good. So basically, this is, those of you who know, The Kill Order was a prequel to, like, the very beginning, like when the flare first started happening and people first started turning into cranks. This is the prequel of the maze. So this is, they've gathered all the kids and they are building the maze experiment during this novel. And so this leads up to Thomas being taken by Wicked to Thomas getting put in the maze. So the last thing that happens is actually Thomas is being put into the maze, and then it will go right into the Maze Runner. So, oh my god, okay, how do I... It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Seeing everyone alive and well. Oh my god. Like, you get in there and there's Thomas and there's Teresa, and you're like, alright, Thomas and Teresa, you get to see how their relationship started. And Teresa was obviously in charge. Like, she was very logical and very intuitive, and she was very much figuring out a lot of stuff and coaxing Thomas to figure out a lot of stuff. So that was her role in it. And then you meet Newt and Minho and Albie and Chuck, my boy Chuck, and it was just like seeing them all okay, and how that they were even like a close-knit group before the maze, like before they lost all their memories, which it hurt, but I enjoyed that. This is this entire book. It really hurt, but I loved it. Yes. Oh my god, this big thing happened. Newt and, do you guys remember Sonia? They're brother and sister. Newt and Sonia are brother and sister, and it's like, what? And there's actually like one part in here where Newt says to Thomas, he's like, that's my sister Sonia. I don't care what they do to me, I'll never forget her. And I was like, oh my god, why? I was like, James, you know what you're doing, stop it. Okay, well there's that. Okay, so this was basically Thomas and Teresa building the maze, and it was very interesting to see their relationship with Wicked and how they were manipulated into doing certain things, but also some of it was of their own free will. And I think you really got a much better understanding of Thomas's character in this book, because you actually get to genuinely see how much he cares about his friends, and that he will do everything for his friends, and that everything he does because he thinks it's right. He thinks that doing this, he will help his friends, and that he was doing it for the greater good, and that he wants to save everyone. He has very much of a hero complex, Thomas, which can be a negative, especially in this, because he was being manipulated most of the time by Wicked. So you get to see like their relationships with the children, and it's like, are they treating, sometimes you're like, okay, are they treating them like lab experiments? Are they treating them like adults, or are they treating them like children? And you don't really know. You only get, obviously, Thomas's point of view on what Wicked is and it's really, really, like, I think it's one of the main things I like about this entire series is the whole, the wicked is good. It's like, because you don't know, is wicked good? You're just kept in the dark through this whole thing, and I really, really enjoy that aspect of it, because I feel like if I had a definite answer, I'd be like, alright, like, you know, I wouldn't really care. But I really like the fact that it's so vague that you get to make your own conclusions, so like, props to that. What else? Oh, yeah, and again, like, once all of his friends were in the maze, obviously Thomas and Teresa were able to watch it happen. Like, they could see what's happening in the maze at the same time, because obviously it's part of an experiment. So just Thomas having to watch, like, Newton, Minho, and Albie, and everyone just get there, you know, like, have to deal with life in the maze and not remember anything. It's very touching, and it's also the fact that this really says, like, you know, Thomas wants his friends to be okay, and he wants them to not only find a cure for the flare, but also just be alright, and like be alive and be happy. So once again, it really says to Thomas's character, and I really, really enjoyed that. Teresa's a wild card, like she's always been in the series. She was even more of a wild card here, because like Wicked, you don't really know what Teresa is thinking. Like, yeah, Thomas can read her mind, but you don't really know. Another thing that's really, really cool about it, you know, another note that I had is that Newtmas is real. Okay, Newtmas is real and strong, and Thomas and Newt, oh my god, okay. I love them. They were so cute. There were so many scenes where I was like, you're the best. And they're best friends, and oh my god, it was amazing. It was strong. Thank you, James, for that. Okay, this was a little bit of a spoiler, but actually, because like seeing Newt, like, you know how Newt has a limp, right? And like it was not revealed into the death cure why he has a limp, and that's because he jumped off of one of the Glade walls trying to commit suicide. So seeing Thomas have to see Newt try to commit suicide was rough. That was really, really rough for me. It was an amazing, beautiful scene, and I also think that that is the turning point in Thomas's character and in the story, where Thomas is like, you know what? I need to save my friends. Like, and then he goes and he realizes that he is being manipulated and that he needs to manipulate back. So, okay, this is where it's super spoiler territory here, because I'm talking about the complete end of the novel. So Thomas starts planning to break everyone out of the maze. He wants to break all of his friends out of the maze and save them and get away from Wicked, and he just wants them to live their life. So in doing this, I think he tells Teresa about this, if I'm not mistaken, but his plan is to convince them to put him in the maze, but keep all of his memories so that he can act as like an inside man and like feed them information of what's going on, because he actually knows about the simulation. So he tells them that he's gonna do this, but then he actually wants to use this because he knows all about the maze, so he wants to break them out, basically. He wants to double cross Wicked. So that's his plan, and Wicked agrees to it, and they're like, okay, we'll put you in with all your memories intact. And then they double cross Thomas. So Wicked double crosses Thomas and gets rid of all of his memories. So like that's where you see in Maze Runner, he wakes up and doesn't know who he is, or doesn't know where he is, anything, because they double cross him, but he still manages to go and save his friends, which I really, most of his friends. Yeah, so anyways, that happens, but, okay. everything is different now. Literally, the last page changed the entire story, and I'm probably gonna have to go back and reread the entire series because he changed everything. The last page was a letter from, like, written by Teresa about Wicked, and Teresa was inserted into the maze, but she had all of her memories. Teresa had all of her memories the entire time. Teresa knew everything that was happening for the whole series. For the whole series, she knew everything. And she's, oh my, oh, well done, James. Well done. Okay, I did not see that coming. It was beautiful. I think it pulled the entire story together just so brilliantly, and oh my god. Okay, yes, that's all I have to say because I'm freaking out now a little bit. So, Fever Code, James Dashner. Highly recommend reading it. It's so good, even though I just spoiled the end for you. Obviously, you've read it if you're watching, so. Oh my god. Okay. That's so good. Okay, so next week I will be doing a book discussion on The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman? Something. I don't know, it's The Light Between Oceans. It's a fiction romance thing that I read. It's pretty good, so tune in next week for that. Yes, that's really all I have to say, so please comment what you thought on this video, and please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday, and I am Ardania, and thank you so much for watching.